Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday edition of Talking Horses. I'm sorry we are right on top of you here. Maybe we can get somebody up here to fix the shot. I'm the big A, Anthony Stabile. To my left.
Yeah, you're left. You're good.
It's been a long week. Is Paul Veterosa. Paul works here at the New York Racing Association down in the TV department, and Paul and I have known each other for 33 years.
Oh my, maybe a little less than that.
30?
Yeah, 30
High
would
school?
be 30 is about a right number.
Right.
For me and you. Yeah, this is like full circle for you and I.
It is.
A couple of teenagers running around Aqueduct. Now we're doing Talking Horses together.
It is.
This is a big deal.
Dream come true for me, actually.
This is a dream. Listen, this might be the pinnacle of my broadcasting career right now. Okay, let me just tell you, and I've done some things, but this is awesome.
This will be a fun day. Yeah,
This is
Paul and
fun.
I met a long time ago, roaming the halls of John Adams, and of course the hallowed grounds of the Big A. And how'd you get your love start in the greatest sport played outdoors?
So, long time ago, my uncle actually worked a little bit on the backside. And then from there in the 80s, watching some races. In the 90s, actually living a few blocks from here,
Yep.
made it super easy to come here in the afternoons. And I guess I could say it now.
Statute of limitations is
Statute
over, buddy.
of limitations.
We would cut class together.
Yeah, we would cut class together, come here in
Get
the
up.
afternoons. I knew exactly where you guys were, you and your family and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun to be here.
It was a lot of fun.
Aqueduct's a great place.
My favorite place on the planet. So Paul and I will have some fun with you this morning. Hopefully pick some winners. 10-race card, 9-race card Thursday. We'll make up for some of the races we lost the last couple of days. It was freezing here in New York. For those of you looking to pick on us and our fantastic riding colony, it was not fit for man nor beast, according to Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was freezing here. You err on the side of caution. Yesterday was nowhere near as bad as they forecasted it to be, but still not a day that racing could have been conducted here in the Big Apple. Today it's beautiful, sunny, we're fast. 10 races to come your way. Bet them all over at NairaBets.com. Promo codes MATCH200. Head on over to NairaBets.com. We got a bunch of fantastic promotions for you. A couple of them today. You can play that middle pick 4. Head over there. Starts in race 4 on today's 10-race card that features the Ruthless in race number 3. But again, that middle pick 4 starts in the 4th race this afternoon on the big card. This is a fun one. $5,000 hit and split. That's $5,000, not points. Late pick 5 here or Oaklawn. There's $2,500 in each pot. You don't have to have both of them. Hit either one, you'll split $2,500 in each pool. Head to NairaBets.com for more details and to play those pick 5s. And of course, you can watch all of the action for those pick 5s on America's Day at the races. FS2 from 3 to 4. Then just hit the up button on your remote control. Head over to FS1 from 4 to 6 p.m. Greg, Maggie, the entire crew. Paul's down at Oaklawn Park. Should be a fun day. All right, let's get to it. We don't have as much time as we ordinarily do.
Yeah.
We'll break after the early pick 5. It kicks off in race number 1. And the maidens will go a flat mile here. Take out the solid one. Check engine lights left, the 1A. My top pick, 3 to 5 right now on the topo. We'll go back to December 4th. Check engine light was the solid one that day. Paul, you see her passing the quarter pole along the inside. I would like to present, Counselor, that this filly was never really comfortable. She never left the iron that day. I don't think she was comfortable down there. I talked to Jorge Abreu, her trainer, afterwards. Javier Castellano gave him the same kind of feedback. She's drawn in the 3-hole now. I think with that information, Dylan, maybe he'll just keep it to the outside today.
Yeah, and she also got into a little bit of trouble, too, right before that video. She lost a little bit of position by the 7/16. She got back through. She came through inside. She didn't look too comfortable, but she ran all the way to the wire in that start. So she did improve second time out. There's no reason why she can't take another step forward here today. My only little question I had with her, though, was that trouble that significant? Was the inside that significant to make a difference here? And I just thought there were some other interesting alternatives.
That's a great point of it's a great point. I don't think she was ever comfortable. So just being down there, I think, was just a negative the entire way. Extra eighth of a mile. I think also that she'll get better with some seasoning. You went a different direction. Trying my heart out. Great name.
Yeah, Romeo Mirage aboard. Kendrick, best wishes, get well soon.
Yes.
Took money in a race where there was a lot of other interesting little things going on in that race, too. Took money in the debut, kept contact early on, kind of dropped out of it, so it's a weird running line there. But if you looked at her, she looked like distance was going to be her friend, so the stretch out's going to help her. And the way she also strided out too down the lane looked very good to me. The dam won at a mile, put that all together. I'd like to just give her another shot second time out with some improvement.
400,000 for this daughter of Into Mischief at the Fasig-Tiffin sale a couple of years ago up at the Spa. Balpool, we have the number 5, both second, 2-1 on the morning line. First time Lasix. All of these fillies actually saved the number 3, Trying My Hide, who debuted this year as a 3-year-old, getting Lasix for the first time. Balpool certainly looked like she'll benefit from the first race sprinting and uncaptured. Going to stretch out an extra quarter of a mile. Gets a rider switch to one of our leading riders in Manny Franco. She made some sense as well.
Yeah, she made some sense doing here.
All right, that's the opener. Kicks off the early pick 5. Race number 2, as my colleague Andy Serling would say.
2-4-1-3, by the way, for me, guys. 2-4-1-3.
So you can add a 3 on to Paul. Tequila. Is that what I was drinking? Yeah, that's what I've been drinking this weekend. I was with my Casamigos, my man Lee. Yeah, I've turned him into a tequila guy a little bit. Yeah, flat mile, the 2 lifetime claimers, kind of bottom of the claiming ladder here. Another chalk-eating weasel pick for me. My man Robbie Falcone dropping April Antics in. This is where he claimed her. She ran the quarter last time in the slop. She gets back to a fast track for the first time. I know her win came on the wet track, but I don't know. I just feel like she found the right bunch today, Paul. You went a different direction again.
You know, they may have found their friends in here, but I just feel like that entry is what it is. In some ways, yes, they're dropping in class. I thought Freddie was actually the better part of the entry based on the
She's gone now, buddy.
Yeah, oh, that's right. The one is out in here.
She's back in the barn. She's hanging out. She's chewing on some alfalfa.
Yeah, so, all right, you know what? Let's talk about the 2. That's who I took on top. So America's Pride for me in here definitely, I think, needed the last start. More importantly, chased 5 wide on a day where the rail was really good. Wanted to be inside. Speed did well. Hopefully can run back to that debut race at Churchill Downs. Went the mile there. Sat just off the pace. Made a bid. Got there. I really think in this spot, get the break. Weah should be in front with this horse.
And Weah has been aggressive.
Super aggressive.
Sending a lot of horses.
That's important around here.
Tequila's been on the front end in some of her better efforts. She went wire to wire last time. She kind of found herself on the lead last time. I mean, if you're worrying about Tequila on the front end, I guess that should be your biggest worry in life.
Yeah, in this race.
If you're trying to get out of this condition, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess America's Pride. I picked her last time. She didn't run 2 steps. Maybe she needed the race. She comes back in 2 weeks. You make a good point with her stretching back out. The wind did come in a mile.
Yeah.
We'll see if Weah puts her on the front end. It was very, very hard.
Yeah, a little Sweet Sensation second. Little
Bronx
Bronx, Bronx freestyle.
It was
a little love child. And
it's usually freestyle Fridays, not Sunday, though, right, Paul?
That's all right. I'll take it. Ran okay, by the way, first time back here.
Yeah,
so
she
did just fine. And in a race where I just couldn't make a case, I didn't want the entry on top at a short price. Just wanted to go in a little bit of a different direction. But I could, listen, in this race, I could use 1, 2s, and 4s.
Yeah. I thought it was 1s and 2s, but maybe Sweet Sensation can split the jammy jam up. Race number 3, Lone Stakes on the Sunday card. The Ruthless 7/8 for the newly turned 3-year-old. I guess not so newly turned anymore. It's been 5 weeks since New Year's Day. That's ridiculous.
Had a little bit, yeah.
Boy, what a waste.
Time's moving by.
What a waste. Field of 5 3-year-old filly. That was a little personal.
I knew you were going to get me to laugh here.
Yeah, field of 5. And let's take a look at the filly who I think, you see some of these gaudy wins. Senior Prank for Chad Brown and Manny Franco got themselves involved in a little bit of a duel. No, and 3 horses is not a duel, but she was involved and banging heads from the time the bell rang till the time she hit the wire in front, a half length in front of her rivals. And in a race that features some fillies who have won by daylight in a number of their starts, I'd much rather have a filly who in her one start was battle tested.
Yeah, she ran just fine. This was a workmanlike performance right here. Battled all the way to the wire, got the job done, and like you said, was there from flag fall to that's all, and did a good job for Chad in this spot in that maiden race. So stepping up today to face a couple of horses with pretty sharp out-of-town form. Girl Trouble, the lights come on for the 4 in here for Butch Reed. And, I mean, to me, she's the horse to beat. The only thing is I'd like to see her do it up here. Those wins were very good down at Parks. She did a great job down there. But, again, it's a little bit different when you bring your game on the road. And I wanted to give my top selection, the number 2, Interpolate, one more chance against her. The other Chad Brown horse completely got wiped out at the start against Girl Trouble last time out. To Kendrick's credit, Kendrick put her in a good spot, raced up into that pace, let her settle briefly before he went after Girl Trouble. And by then, I mean, the race was pretty much over. Girl Trouble had the much better trip in there.
You know what's funny? You say the other Chad Brown. David Aragon actually has Interpolate a half a point lower on the morning line than Senior Prank.
Yes.
But I kind of had the same feeling, like she was the other one of the two Chads in here. You mentioned Girl Trouble shipping in from out of town. Malibu Moonshine, the number 3 for Charlie Baker, is undefeated. All of her works have been here at Belmont. Yet you see Pimlico and a couple of laurels on her card. She is a Maryland bred, so it makes sense for Charlie to be shipping her out of town. And she is perfect in those starts. I'll tell you what, she has passed an awful lot of horses and made up an awful lot of ground in the first 3 starts of her young career.
Yes, and to do it the way she did it, and she's done it well. And Charlie said that her last race in the Gin Talking was the bigger step forward. She actually faced the field, and the flattering part of that came when Stonewall Star came back and dominated the Franklin Square here.
Yeah.
So she could definitely do it. My feeling was, I don't know how far back she was going to be early on. You would think there would be a little bit of hitting in here, you just never know. But I thought that she would be maybe a little too far back. Interpolate might get the jump on her, and I just listen, she's done nothing wrong. She's done absolutely nothing wrong in 3 starts. When you're undefeated, you have to win races. Doesn't matter who you're facing, you're winning those races.
And she's done it on a sloppy seal track, a muddy seal track, and a fast track. At 6-5, 6-5, and 2-1, favored in all 3 of her starts. I don't know if that'll change today with the presence of Girl Trouble. I like Senior Prank mainly because I think she's going to be loose on the front end. We'll see how it all shakes out. Longshot Royal Poppy, who probably won't be that big of a price, rounds out a select but solid field of 5 in today's Ruthless. Goes as race 3 on the 10-race card. Race number 4 kicks off that middle pick 4 this afternoon. Starter quarters going 6.5 furlongs. This should be a fun race. You got some hard knockers in here. I believe we have a replay for you in here. Yes. Let's go to Synthesis, the part of the entry that does stay in for David Jacobson. Yeah, the other part of Trouble, who Paul Light comes out of here.
That might have been the smartest scratch
As
of the day.
Andy says, that might have been a good scratch for you today, buddy.
Day for me, yeah.
But you had this, in your instance, this would have been your safety net. He's running down Admonson in here. And this is a big effort for a horse that's kind of found a little bit of an in-out pattern to his form. Last time they tried the toboggan to no avail. He gets his Lasix back, and he drops back into a spot where he kind of has these over the proverbial barrel class-wise.
Yeah, a little bit of a wise guy horse last time in the toboggan. Even though he went off at 24-1, I did bet him that day. But in the 2 optional claiming races that he's run for Jacobson here, he's just run fine. And the numbers have been great for him. And really, when you look at this field as a whole, he's probably the horse to beat in here. I did try to beat him with Jake's Rocks, though, and I didn't know what to do with your horse as well.
Yeah, Synthesis gets Manny Franco, by the way. He's the rider change in here. Money in the Bank races with no whip again. That's been the MO there for a while. He comes off the voided claim. You and I were talking off camera. You have him 4th. I don't have him anywhere. The layoff is the thing the layoff off the voided claim kind of bothers me a lot because this horse has actually run okay.
Yeah, his form was fine.
Layoff in the past.
Yeah, his form was fine until he got into that 32 claimer, and then the claim was voided, and we haven't seen him since. So, just didn't know what to do with him. I actually scratched into him thanks to O Trouble coming out. So.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with him. I just kind of left him alone. I don't think it'll be a big enough price to find out if he's, if he's worth taking a little swing on. Maybe give him one off of the bench. You know, you're a brave man. I came on this program back on January 14th, and kind of almost mocked the fact that after 37 starts, we were supposed to believe that Jake Rocks was going to win back-to-back races, right? And you should probably remember and document where you were on January 14th because it happened. And now
I'm trying to put him in
your Talking Horses debut, you've decided
to put him in the winner's
circle. In
circle.
your infinite wisdom, you were going to try to make it 3 in a row.
I'm fairness, I'm the genius who picked O Trouble 2 seconds ago, the other half of the entry. I just thought Jake Rocks was going to be up close. It seems like maybe at 7, he's found the elixir to life as it comes to being a thoroughbred. I don't find anything wrong with the last 2 starts. He was up on top of the pace 2 starts back. He actually dug in that race. Again, it was $25,000 claimers. I'm not going to make it out to be that he was facing world beaters. Came back in the starter allowance condition. He kind of had that aim. He got up late, Again, the field is tougher today, but I just felt like he was going to be up close, and maybe the light bulbs come on, and maybe I'll get a decent enough price on him, and we'll get him in the winner's circle 3 times.
If Jake Rocks has the answer to life, I'm going to see Rob tomorrow morning.
If he does win, though, I wonder if I can get in the winner's circle picture.
Jake, you deserve to take him home. Call Wendy Lee. You should take him home.
The one horse that I did not know what to do with, though, is the horse you selected, the number 6, Famished, off the claim.
So this is partially an opinion, and this is partially a little Khaleesi influence, and of course, my Khaleesi in racing is Maggie Wolfendale. I always thought this horse needed a pair of blinkers, and Maggie kind of made the same comment in the paddock 2 starts back. They added the blinkers last time, and this horse beat one of the more hard-knocking, consistent horses we have on the circuit in Last Chance. I probably should have showed this replay. I screwed up by not putting this up because even though he's cutting back, I felt like this horse ran so well last time and was more involved. It was a slow pace, but he was more involved as an individual last time. And I just feel like the blinkers helped him a lot. It was his best race in a real long time. I know he has a slightly better fig at Monmouth. That race last time was the best race of his career. Yeah. And I attribute it to the blinkers going on. He's going to have to deal with the cutback and a horse like Synthesis. Again, the kind of race for me where, yeah, Jake Rocks is in good form, but he would have to really improve to beat both Synthesis and Famished. So I'll take the horse that's going to be a slightly better price that I think could be on the improve with the blinkers. First time John Toscano. He might get ignored on the tote board because of that. I'll try Famished at a little bit of a price in here, but by no means do I think
that
Synthesis isn't the horse.
Yeah, and that Toscano's a good off the claim. So.
Yeah. And yeah, John does have good numbers off the claim. But Synthesis, obviously, the horse to beat here in race 4. Again, kicks off that middle pick 4. Pick 4s begin today on the 10-race card in races 2, 4, and 7. On to race number 5. Pick 6 time here on this Sunday, a sensational Sunday here at the Big A. Flat mile for the 12-5 claimers. The backbone of winter racing here in the Big Apple. I didn't know what to do here. I went back to a horse that I tried a little bit last time, Cool Quartet. He's dropping from the 20 to the 20. Dropped from the allowance condition to the 20. I didn't have much to say in here. I thought if he showed up, he was going to be ultra tough. I guess Warrior in Chief. I don't love the fact that he's dropping off the claim for Michelle Nevin. Those were the 2 for me. A couple of chalks in here. You obviously went a different direction.
Yeah, with Warrior in Chief, as you just mentioned, I don't know what happened in that last start, but I think if he gets back to the race, he ran 2 starts back. That puts him square right in the mix right here. You know, he ran very well that day. For me, Dark Storm, I wanted to take Dark Storm. Well, first of all, I'd like to get the rider in the winner's circle before he heads back.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah, I'd like to.
A really good guy. He's leaving today. Mm-hmm. I think the plan is to come for the entire winter.
That would be great.
To come back in November and really just spend after the Belmont of the Big A meet wraps up, just spend the whole winter here next year.
That would be great. I ran into him last week, actually, in the hallways downstairs. Nice guy, said hello.
I got to spend some time with him and Bill and Matt Kanamachi last Sunday up in the Horseman's Lounge when I would wrap some stuff up here, and we hung out for about an hour before
cool.
Aunt Buzzy ran in the last race. And yeah, we were just chewing the fat and talking racing and stuff. And
that's cool.
Yeah, really good guy.
Very cool.
Knows his stuff. And he's, first few horses did not get out of the gate too well.
Yeah.
A little bit. He explained to me why and adapted quickly and changed things up. And
he got his style back. Yeah,
everything. I mean, he got Mount Travis.
Yeah,
Mount Travis broke like a shot.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to get him in the winner's circle today. But actually, Cool Quartet and Dark Storm came out of the same race that day, and Dark Storm was a little wide. It's kind of chasing that moderate pace. She kind of wanted to be more towards the inside that day on the 21st, I think. The race fell apart, if you remember. Grump's Little Tots came from out of the clouds up the inside part of the track that day to get the win. So I think today, maybe with a little bit more aggressive ride, a little bit better placement, I just wanted to go with him over the 3 Warrior in Chief and a little Cool Quartet for me. And perceived as somebody that I wanted to mention, too, for Rudy Rodriguez. The barn's going a little bit better. And I don't know if this horse can run anymore, but if you look all the way down in his form, that claimer non-winners of 3 last year for $14,000, he ran very well in that race and the subsequent few starts after that. Then just tailed off. So maybe the drop in half again will help him today. But he was on the outside for me. It was more 7s and 3s for me.
You know what was weird to me about him? He's the kind of horse that when I know he ran okay here, but he almost improved for Rudy when we left Aqueduct. last
Yeah,
year.
as
He
we
ran
got to-
better figs when we got out of the
Yeah,
winter.
once we got to Belmont, in the spring.
He's almost like an anti-Rudy kind of horse.
Yeah.
It was really
yeah.
weird. More often than not, these horses thrive. And he won. He won for Linda here last winter, and he won for Rudy. But his faster races
were
came
over the
against
spring
better
side.
horses when we left here.
Yeah, I just felt I wanted to throw him in off of that, just in the mix. Put him on the bottom, just in the mix for me. But a lot of 7s and 3s in here for me.
That's the first five. First pick fives in the books. We'll come back with the second half of the card and the late pick five after a few words from Saratoga Water.
Born in the foothills of the Adirondacks over 150 years ago, the Saratoga brand has become synonymous with quality. Carefully crafted spring water. Each stunning blue glass bottle is created with the same attention to detail and care that has been the Saratoga hallmark for generations. So open a bottle, take a sip, and savor the Saratoga experience. Saratoga, an American classic that's always in good taste. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to the Sunday edition of Talking Horses. Big A Anthony Stabile, Paul Veterosa filling in for Andy Serling.
Nice enough to let him sleep late today.
He's probably watching.
I'm sure he is.
Enjoying yourself so far?
I definitely am. Except I did get a little call. It said John Adams High School. I don't know if that was my...
Truancy?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the truant officer.
Be out of here
Looking for
later.
us.
You won't see me after Talking Horses.
Looking
today.
for us on,
Yeah.
on the side. I told you the statute of limitations is over.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you feel too old. We graduated 29 years ago.
Well, you did. Well, no, I graduated. No, I graduated in '98.
Oh, never mind.
I was going to say, you're making me older than I am.
Race 6.
Let's talk about race. Sorry.
Leave me alone, Paul.
Not really.
Race 6 here at Aqueduct. 25 late pick 5 time, played over at Naira Bets. 25 2 life claimers, 6 furlongs. Here, scratched a 3, put Jorge Vargas on the 4. Have a replay here? No replay here either.
Yeah.
I went to Brajol. It's
I knew
Sunday.
you were. It's
I can go for some Brajol.
I wrote this in my
Ma?
notes. I knew you were going to do this.
Make a little Brajol if you're listening, please. I'm actually,
The pasta and the meat.
I'm not
Sunday.
eating home today. Not eating home today.
Leftovers.
Yeah, make some Brajol, Ma.
Yeah.
Where'd you go here?
The 2.
The other way?
I chalked out.
Okay.
I went to out of sight. Just the drop down, Manny getting back aboard. Last time out, the horse broke through the gate, then was wide at the corner. I felt like the race was over 5 strides into the race for out of sight. 2 starts back, ran okay. The drop down, Manny, Horatio's been going good. Horatio Deposit's been going good. I just feel like he's going to just get out in front in here.
So, I did not look at your picks
Uh-huh.
purposely. I knew you were going to pick this horse. Here's why. Common sense dictates, if you have any sort of normalcy in your brain, this is the horse you're going to pick today.
That's up for debate, by the way. Some will
That's-
tell you,
and that's
some
all
will
well
tell
and-
you that. That's up for debate.
That's all well and good. This is the horse you're supposed to pick today.
Yeah.
I could not pick this horse today because I felt like he ran well enough 2 back and had a multitude of excuses last time. Not just the breaking through the gate, but this is now the second time this horse did not run 2 steps on a sloppy track in his life. Clearly the 2 races that are abysmal on his card are on sloppy, sealed racetracks. So you could just forget. And the funny thing is, he has a wonderful wet track pedigree.
Yes, and he doesn't run a step on it.
He just doesn't
run a
handle
step
it.
on it.
That
yeah.
happens. That happens a lot. It happens more often than not. I don't know why he's in for the quarter. Because I would have given if I owned him or I trained him, I would be running him again for the starter.
Give him one more chance on a fast track.
I would have.
It was too.
So that's what kept me from picking him and what led me to Brajol. I do not love Brajol, the horse, today. I love Brajol.
I was going to say.
I don't love the horse today, but he's the only other horse
Yes.
I think you can make
Yeah.
a case for in here.
Yeah, 2s and 6s.
I'm
were-
so looking at the price. He's 5-2.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I mean,
can
where
get
else?
5
Where
to-
else can you
nowhere.
go? I mean,
Absolutely nowhere.
The 7 Persistent Danger was speed was good that day, but
That
Brajol ran the
Barnes-
better race.
That barn's going to win a race before I start picking them on top.
Yeah, and
I
Brajol-
scratched into that horse for 3rd.
Yeah.
If you want to, now we don't have the horse anywhere. He's actually the only horse we don't have anywhere, so we can't lose. These are the horses that Lynn Cash wins with, the 5 per diem.
Yes.
These are the horses that win. They pay $19 in races that have a vulnerable favorite and a second choice that you don't have to trust. These are the horses they win with, not the 6-5 shots and the 2-1 shots.
Yeah, it's the Pirate Ricks of the world.
The Pirate Ricks of the
field.
world when they're 12-1, not when they're 6-5 in the toboggan.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the angle. I don't know. I don't like the horse. It's hard to make the horse on paper.
Yeah.
But to me, if you don't like Out of Sight, the only horse you can make a case for is Berjol. That's what I did. That's race 6. It kicks off the late pick 5, the final pick 4 of the day. Now, remember that late pick 5, part of the promotion, $2,500 hit and split, along with the late pick 5 over at Oaklawn Park this afternoon. Race 7 kicks off the final pick 4 of the day. One of the more interesting races, almost a co-feature, if you ask me, with our Ruthless today. Put Manny Franco on the number 3, Win It. So we're going to watch Win It's race from January 6th. We're going to watch the start and the finish. So here he is. You can't miss him. He's the big gray, son of Tappet.
And once again, Win It doing Win It things, breaking slow that day. I needed Win It, by the way, to complete a pick 5 in here. So a little heartbroken. But after that, found his stride. Pick it up again here going around the turn. You can see him on the outside here, and he grinded it out. I mean, to Win It's credit, he actually, came down the lane on the outside, made some hay, and actually almost ran down Bourbon Calling in there. The starts is what's doing it for Win It in the last few starts. Now, he puts blinkers on today. It's kind of an interesting move. Now, I picked the horse on top. It's an interesting move for a horse that's a little bit quirky to ride, and now Manny's aboard. Just wonder sometimes, though, with the blinkers on horses like this, is it going to make him a little bit more keen?
I don't like this move.
That's all. My only question
move.
is if it's going to rev him up a little bit more. I like him today. I think if he gets relatively close, he's going to be there on the wire. But the blinkers on move worries me a little with a horse who's quirky to ride.
Surprisingly, John Kimball's won a few more races than me as a trainer.
I'm surprised.
But I don't like this move.
Yeah.
Because this horse just looks like he's a bad actor. And I feel, and I'm not going to try and get into John's head too much, if he thought the blinkers were going to help, it would have happened a lot sooner.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just because of the gate issues for 2 of the last 3 starts.
And
That's
now,
what I just wonder.
and now he has to, and it's, emergency is a wrong word, but obviously Kendrick was supposed to ride this horse. Kendrick got hurt. And now he gets a new rider in Manny Franco. And Manny's one of our best riders here. This is not a knock to Manny, but this is a tough horse to ride. And now Manny's going to be asked to ride a tough horse with a brand new pair of blinkers on his head. He can obviously win this race, but I think the blinkers is going to sharpen this horse up. He broke his maiden on the front end in what was his fastest figure to date until he equaled that last time. I think he'll be forward. I imagine Uncle Moonlight will be forward.
Yeah.
I would imagine stretching out to a mile from the rail, Reggae Music Man will be forward. Back Ring Luck has speed. Sheriff Bianco stretching out. He's got to be forward. Bourbonic is where I'm going to go. To the Wood Memorial winner of 2021, who gets the blinkers back on. Bringing this horse back from the layoff, I love the fact that they didn't put the blinkers back on him. Todd Pletcher, and of course Byron Hughes runs the show here in the winter, and Todd does give Byron some rain over there. I love the fact that these blinkers didn't go back on. They ran him a couple of times, one sprint. They ran him in the 2-turn race where he had no chance the way the track was playing that day.
The track that day was not suitable for him.
Now he gets a ton of speed in the race. He gets a 1-turn mile to get his caboose in gear. He gets Dylan. Kendrick picked Win It over Bourbonic. It certainly looks that way anyway. But he gets one of our other leading riders in Dylan Davis. I like Bourbonic a lot today. I'm going to try him. Sheriff Bianco's in good form. He's going to probably be the favorite over Win It. I'll try those 2, but I'm going to make a nice win bet on Bourbonic today and hope he gets a good setup. I'll try him in what I think is our co-feature race. Number 7 kicks off the final pick 4 of the afternoon. Race number 8, more condition claimers, 35-3 life. Put Dylan Davis on the 5 funny joke. He also gets a pair of blinkers. The 4-5 morning line favorite was a vet scratch out of here. Take out the 3 majority players, so completely disregard the morning line right now. You would imagine now, though, Paul Funny Joke is going to be a short favorite.
Yeah, I scratched into Funny Joke here, too. Did you have majority partner on top here as well? Or
I did not.
You did not.
That should be 6-4-5-2 for me, guys.
Yeah, I scratched into Funny Joke now with Dylan Davis on. Blinkers go on today for Rob Adris. It's a good move for them. 50 down to 35 now. He's been close in his last 2. Maybe the drop will help today. The blinkers will help today. I'm not sure how much he really liked the track last time out. He did move out quite a bit during that race. But today on the fast track, I mean, with majority partner out, I'm kind of just, I don't know where to go here after this. Maybe Winner's Laugh, who you have on top.
I didn't have much to say. I didn't have much to say with majority partner out. I just feel like Fenway will go. I would imagine
Yeah,
one
as
whirlwind
usual.
ride with the rider change to Luis Rodriguez Castro was pretty aggressive. We'll kind of chase him, and I'm just hoping Winner's Laugh, who has yet to pass a horse successfully. It's kind of I usually would sing Now or Never today. My voice is a little bad. I would imagine Winner's Laugh is just sitting there in the offing. I hope they come back to him. This is the kind of race, though, where I would want to use 2, 4, 5, and 6. Hope Fenway doesn't come back. Turns and conditions kind of tough to make.
Yeah.
I would use those 4 in the late pick 5 and hope to catch the biggest price, who will likely be hang tight. Just hope maybe the race falls apart and Andre Worry comes gunning past him late, but he's on a big 2 9-furlong race cutback back to 6 furlongs. Though his one race at 3/4, he finished second. He's been okay sprinting.
Yeah, it was okay.
So that's race number 8. Race number 9.
About 9.
Yep, State Bred Allowance. Put Jorge Vargas on the 5. Golden Code. Tin Pan Alley for my man Paulie V.
Yeah, I found an interesting stat. Chad does well anyway off of layoffs, but here at Aqueduct only.
I didn't think I was going to hear those words today. I found an interesting stat.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, so thanks. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment. So here at Aqueduct, the last 5 years on the dirt, with horses coming back 6+ month layoffs, sprinting, Chad is 10 for 19.
Wow.
With 14 in the money, a 339 ROI. I just, in a race where, there's a lot going on in this race to me. You have the horses coming back in Tin Pan Alley and Golden Code, who I don't like at all today, as you can see in the top 4. We'll get to that in a second. You have the Now horse and My Man Matty, who you picked on top. And then we have the horse who just is there with the recency and Writer's Regret. I just felt Tin Pan Alley deserved a shot off the layoff, especially after seeing that stat. The race he ran here in March of last year was not bad. He came back in the Mike Lee. Something obviously went wrong there, and he's been away since. He's been working okay coming back. I just give him a shot here. And I don't think he's going to be the favorite in here, so I just wanted to give him a shot.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on Golden Code. I have him 3rd. You have him nowhere. He's kind of feast or famine. He'll probably need one going short off the bench. Broke his maiden in the mud. Somebody had to be 3rd in the Gotham. That's the kind of way I look at that race. He was 100 to 1 in the Wood Memorial. He trailed, and we haven't seen him for just about 10 months now. I'll let him beat me off of the 10-month break.
And the polar opposite, by the way, for Todd. Stat for Todd: 5 years at Aqueduct, same parameters, with horses coming off 6+ month off layoffs going route to sprint. He's only 1 for 10 with 3 in the money. You know who the horse was? Won the Bayshore last year.
Oh,
See if I can stump you.
no, you're not going to stump me. It was Wit.
Wit. That's the only horse he had that's come back on that angle.
Good try with the stump, though, buddy.
Sorry.
No problem. You said it best. I took the recency in My Man Matty. I mean, that's what I did here. I respect Tin Pan Alley, and nobody has. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but there's no one better. There may be equals, but there's no one better getting these horses ready off layoffs than Chad and Dan Stupa over at who watches the Winter String and the New York String all year long. But how good was this horse's maiden win? I mean, Eminency is in the 25-2 lives now after breaking his maiden for 40.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran against Rotney, and then he ran against Rotney again in the Mike Lee, and obviously something went wrong. He was 8-5 there, and he didn't run 2 steps, and he's been gone for 8.5 months, and I respect that. But My Man Matty was good. My Man Matty has something that neither of those horses really have, and that's real speed. He'll be forward. I would imagine My Man Matty's in front of all of these horses. He's just faster than these horses. And, if he's got to worry about Writer's Regret and Eric Cancel being on top of him, I don't think Jose Gomez is going to let Eric Cancel and Writer's Regret that close to him. I think he just puts a little distance between him and the rest. I like My Man Matty a lot today. That's race number 9. In the books, race 10, the finale. State Bred fillies and mares going 6.5, a field of 7 to wrap things up for the week. We'll go back to January 8th, Happy Sophia and Vallelujah. They are the 7-1 this afternoon. They were the 3-7 on this day nearly a month ago, and we'll look for a Twilight Zone exacta See if they can do it again.
do it again.
One for the tag. That's Happy Sophia. Valiluia still has her 2 other than condition.
Yeah, looking at this race, I mean, I think Happy Sophia, you know, on the didn't want the mile, cutting back that day, and got the job done. And Valiluia runs past the odds and has gotten, you know, past her odds in recent starts and has gotten better with her numbers every start. So I could make a case for either one of them. The only thing that I didn't like, well, obviously I didn't make a case for Happy Sophia, but the only thing that I didn't like about Happy Sophia is this barn doesn't pair wins together that often. And Happy Sophia hasn't either. So I kind of just went in a little bit of a different direction in here. I went to Cali Magic, the 6 in here. I don't think that she wanted any part of the mile last time out, cutting that mile.
She's not really
a mile horse.
no.
And cutting back today, she's got the right running style. She had an excuse 2 back as well when she got steadied and squeezed out of it a bit at the start. So Dylan's aboard today. I think she gets the right setup. Threw a little Shinful in there. We both have her for second in there as well. I didn't know what to do with the horse you have on top. I have her third. She could win, but she's not going to have an easy time of it today, don't you think?
No, she's not going to have an easy time. But and she's run okay off the pace. She's not going to be able to control things. She doesn't figure to control things with Quality Stones in the race. Quality Stones coming off a little 2-month break. First time for Gustavo Rodriguez. We'll see how fast she is early. She should be able to sit second off of her. I would imagine that's what the destiny is for her today. Well, they're pulling us. That's all right.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Head over to Naira Bets to play all the action on today's card and every day. Any track, any place, and any time. Match 200, the promo code. Head over to nairabets.com. What's next? Middle pick 4. Race number 4 is where that kicks off. Again, pick 4 is today in races 2, 4, and 7. We have the late pick 5, hit and split, $5,000, $2,500 in each of the pools. Late pick 5 at Aqueduct and Oaklawn. That's cash, not points. Keep that in mind. And of course, America's Day at the Races kicks off on FS2 at 3, and then at 4 o'clock, head over to FS1 from 4 to 6 p.m. Fantastic maiden voyage,
This
sir.
is great. Did I break my maiden first time out?
Yeah, very good.
All right,
Good job.
We'll try an allowance condition next time.
We'll try it next time out. Thanks for joining us. Day just getting underway. 10 race card. It's beautiful here at the Big A today. Come on out, play along. Chris Griffin up next with a reprise of the scratches and changes.
Born in the foothills of the Adirondacks over 150 years ago, the Saratoga brand has become synonymous with quality. Carefully crafted spring water. Each stunning blue glass bottle is created with the same attention to detail and care that has been the Saratoga hallmark for generations. So open a bottle, take a sip, and savor the Saratoga experience. Saratoga, an American classic that's always in good taste. Make every day exquisite.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aqueduct. The track is fast, 24 minutes until race 1. Here are today's scratches and changes. Race 1 is the start of the early pick 5. Scratch the 1, Alice Cramden. Rider change on the 3, make it Romero Mirage. Race 2 is the start of the early pick 4. Scratch the 1A, Freudian. Rider change on the 3, make it Dylan Davis. Race 3, rider change on the 2, make it Eric Cancel. Race 4 is the start of a middle pick 4. Rider change on the 1, make it Manny Franco. Scratch the 1A, Oh Trouble. The 3, with no whip again. Race 5, start of the pick 6. The 1 is 2 pounds over. Scratch the 4, Cecilia Mike. Race 6, start of the late pick 5. The 1 is +2. Scratch the 3, John's Protege. Rider change on the 4, make it Jorge Vargas Jr.